Good morning, everyone. Let us discuss the functions, the skills, and the roles of a manager. What is a manager? A manager is a person in charge of planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling different tasks in an organization. Kung mapapansin ninyo, it is very similar to the definition of management because the person who is in charge of those functions under management is the manager. Si manager ang nagpaplano, siya ang nag-organize, siya ang nagsastaff, nagli-lead, at nagko-control ng iba't ibang mga tasks in an organization. What are the functions of a manager? So let us take chef as an example. So if a chef is in the kitchen, paano ginagampanan ni chef ang pagiging manager sa loob ng kitchen? Let us start with, how do chefs plan? Paano nagpaplano si chef? Ano yung mga dapat niyang i-consider? It can be what to cook, how many dishes to cook, where to get ingredients, or maybe what time should we start cooking. Ilan lang to sa mga bagay na kino-consider ni chef sa pagpaplano. And that is the first part of managing the kitchen. How do chefs organize? Ano yung mga iniisip niya sa pag-organize? It can be what to cook first. Ano dapat ang mauna? What should be done first before cooking? It can be what are the steps in preparing such dish. Remember, in organizing, we are considering which tasks should be performed first and which is the last. Nang sa ganon, maayos ang pag-perform ng isang manager sa tasks. How do chefs staff? Paano siya naglalagay ng mga tao sa kitchen? Ano yung mga dapat niyang i-consider? Who will cook this dish? Who will prepare? Who will do the groceries? Who will do the mise en place? These are some of the considerations that a chef is doing kapag maglalagay siya ng tao sa kitchen. How do chefs lead? Paano nagli-lead si chef sa kitchen? How to prepare this dish? How to do the mise en place? How to plate this dish? How to cook this dish? Remember, in leading, ipinapakita ni manager kung paano ginagawa ang isang tasks. Hindi yon pagbibigay lang ng tasks sa employees. That is not leading. And also, how to serve this dish. Ipinapakita niya kung paano pino-perform ang mga sumusunod na tasks. And finally, how do chefs control? What is the taste of the dish? Were the customers satisfied? Did they enjoy the food? Remember, sa controlling, ito yung way kung saan malalaman ng manager kung na-achieve ng team yung set goals and objectives ng isang management using some measuring tools. So, kung ikaw ang chef, what is the best way to determine kung na-achieve mo yung goal mo than tasting the food, kung masarap siya, or asking the customers if they are satisfied with the food and the services. What are the roles of the manager? In this part, we will be using Henry Mintzbery 10 managerial roles na nakalagay sa kanyang libro entitled The Nature of Managerial Work. Henry is a Canadian academic and author on business and management. In Henry Mintzbery's 10 managerial roles, it can be categorized into 3. It can be informational, that involves the sharing and analyzing information. It can be interpersonal. This involves human interaction. Or it can be decisional. It involves decision-making. So what are these 10 managerial roles? Under informational, number 1 is monitor. Seek and receive information, scan periodicals and reports, maintain personal contact with stakeholders. One of the role of the manager is to be well informed about informations regarding the tasks at hand. Dapat lagi siyang updated at informed sa mga information regarding the tasks. Disseminator. The manager forwards information to organization members via memos, reports, and phone calls. Si manager ang nagfo-forward ng iba't ibang information sa mga stakeholders ng kumpanya, whether via memos, reports, emails, etc. A manager is a spokesperson wherein he transmits information to outsiders via reports, memos, and speeches. A manager is also a figurehead, wherein he performs ceremonial and symbolic duties, such as greeting the visitors and signing legal contracts. It is important that a manager can represent an organization. A manager is also a leader. He directs and motivates subordinates. He counsels and communicates with subordinates. It is important na si manager ay marunong mag-motivate at laging nangunguna sa iba't ibang mga task at ipinapakita niya yon sa kanyang mga subordinates. A manager is a liaison officer also. He maintains information links between inside and outside stakeholders via mail, phone, calls, and meetings. So, siya yung nagsisilbing links sa mga stakeholders ng organizations inside and outside. A manager knows how to handle disturbances. He takes corrective action during disputes or crises. He resolves conflicts among subordinates. It is important that a manager knows how to address conflicts between the management and the employees or employees between employees. So it is important that he knows what to do, how to troubleshoot, and how to address those problems and resolve them. A manager is an entrepreneur. He initiates improvement projects, identify new ideas, delegate idea responsibility to others. A manager is a resource allocator. He decides who gets resources, who prepares the budget, who sets the schedules, and he knows how to determine priorities. And number 10, a manager is a good negotiator. He represents department during negotiations of union contracts, sales, purchases, and budgets. What are the skills of a manager? A manager needs technical skills. This is the ability to be proficient in doing a particular task, like accountants, engineers, and computer scientists. This skill is acquired through formal education and further developed through trainings and job experiences. Next is the human relation skills. This skill involves working with others. This skill emerges in the workplace as a spirit of trust, enthusiasm, and genuine involvement in interpersonal relationships. A manager with good human skills has a high degree of self-awareness and a capacity to understand the feeling of others. And lastly, conceptual skills. This is the ability to think critically, break down problems into smaller parts, see the relationship between parts, and recognize the implications of a problem. Let us summarize the discussion. We define a manager. And we said that a manager is the person in charge of planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling different tasks in an organization, doing these given functions. And we also discussed the roles of a manager. A manager monitors, a disseminator, a spokesperson, a figurehead, a leader, a liaison, an entrepreneur, a disturbance handler, a resource allocator, and a negotiator, based on the 10 managerial roles of Henry Mintzbery. And lastly, the skills of a manager that includes the technical skills, the human skills, and the conceptual skills. And that is the roles, the skills, and the functions of a manager in an organization.